Welcome to Grafted. I'm Tom, and this is Sam, and we are here to talk about The Chosen. We're going to look at Season 2, Episode 4, and our producers have picked a handful. Five. They've picked 5 clips from The Chosen. And we're really interested in this because we're elders at a Messianic congregation, and I did 2 years of doctoral studies in Jerusalem, and I studied the different biblical sites and the archaeology and the scholarship, all about the first century context of the Bible. So we've been loving the series,
for sure.
And so we're excited to see and just kind of comment. We haven't watched these clips yet as we go, so we're just gonna get our raw feedback about The Chosen. We're excited.
Totally excited, and a little interested to see what comes out, since we haven't actually seen these. But, I mean, hopefully we don't mess up the show for ourselves later. But it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Shall we?
Let's do it. That's a big tree. That's a good shot.
And a little boy.
He's little. What kind of tree is that? Is that an olive tree? I can't tell.
I don't think it's an olive tree.
It looks like a
Is
sycamore?
it Zacchaeus? That's a no.
Oh,
that's
definitely not.
Definitely not Zacchaeus. Oh, this is a set.
Oh gosh!
What's he doing?
Oh, I thought he was gonna.
I did too.
Pierce his
Is
foot.
it like acupuncture in the Middle East?
So he. Okay.
That's a really cool shot though. Look at the
is.
light
It's
there. It
beautiful.
looks like heavenly almost. Okay, he's sad.
He's paralyzed.
It's interesting that kippah he has. It's like this really big. It's the Sephardic look actually,
Oh, that's yeah.
which makes sense. Sephardic's Middle Eastern, right? Ooh, that's pretty. It reminds me of Nazareth Village in Israel.
Yeah. What's going on here? Okay, so medicine, some sort of like.
Look at like a witch doctor looking guy or something. I really have no idea what's going on in this episode.
I have no idea, but
There's the light then, that's cool.
they just gave a lot of money to this person, so that's probably really important to note. Okay.
What?
Here's a lot going on. Oh no.
I feel like I should know the story. Like, what is the story? Baby.
So baby survives, mama doesn't.
Mama dies in childbirth.
Whoa. Okay, I'm assuming that's him. Yeah.
Grown up, you mean? Yeah, same kippah.
Yep.
Okay, and he grew his hair out. All right, so he's got dad still there, no mom. This is somebody. A new wife, maybe?
Yep. Did you see that? They had they're doing the I just lost it. What's it called?
Chuppah?
Chuppah.
Yeah. And actually, pause. This is one thing about the first century that in this, I'm sure they just don't know, but the university I studied at, they actually found some clothing from the first century, and so the prayer shawls are actually a part of the first century garments.
Like literally like a part of it, not something separate that you wear.
It's not like a scarf or something you wear on top. It's actually a part of your clothing, and so the fringes of the garment that even Yeshua had and wore were actually just a part of your clothes. So, and maybe there was others as well, but we actually know that from archaeological excavations. So it's kind of cool. So it's a little bit different here, but I'm not overly being critical there. It's just a little factoid, if you will.
Just something fun to note. All right, you want to keep going?
I think so.
Okay. Even the music.
It does look like Jerusalem stone, the setting. So I like how that looks authentic.
Oh man.
Oh, it's okay. So he's still paralyzed, is what
Yeah.
they're. Okay,
Still paralyzed. That's beautiful.
it's fun. Okay,
This
so
is the
now he's
baby.
got a new brother.
Yeah. That was the baby. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that was the baby.
And common women dying in childbirth, right? Having a second wife, and that's very a normal depiction of, actually just even a couple hundred years ago, let alone 2000. Okay, here we have some candles. Interesting
You
lighting.
want to say something about the candles?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but lamps was the main use of lighting in the first century, and I think candles were known about in China at this time, but not actually in first century Israel. But it was probably harder to film.
you see this relationship growing? This is awesome.
So is that his brother? Oh, the Romans.
Yeah, his little brother.
He looks pretty upset.
He does.
Yeah, Romans were not good.
But capturing the reality of
Yeah.
Roman oppression at the time, for sure. What's going on here?
I don't know. Brother's not happy.
Oh.
Wait, so is this the young one? That's the young one. Are his legs healed?
No.
I'm confused.
He was carting him around.
Well, who was standing up over there with
That was the younger brother.
So who was the one upset?
The paralyzed one.
What? He's standing?
No, he was sitting.
No. He was
Yeah.
standing.
No.
Sitting
No.
on a cart.
He was sitting on a
he
cart.
was on a cart.
So he signed up for something. Really, the lighting that they do is just
That's really
amazing.
cool. Okay,
Look at
now
that.
I don't know where they went. That's like southern Israel. That would be like the Negev. So I'm not sure where they're supposed to be right now.
I wonder if he's joining some sort of sect or something. A zealous sect or something. Okay, so this looks familiar. What is this? This looks like maybe pool of Siloam or something.
It could be. Could be.
Remember the waters being stirred, right?
That's not the pool of Siloam. That's the other. That's Bethesda.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But I'm not sure which one. This is probably Bethesda though.
Mm-hmm.
If they got the paralytics hanging around, right? There's the stirring of the water. They're jumping in. That's cool.
That's crazy.
Oof. That's a good build-up.
Wow.
I can feel.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's just
Can you
incredible.
imagine?
Desperation, man.
And he's all. Oh. Wow. I mean, why did the Lord do it that way, right? I mean,
Right?
it's such a crazy story.
Okay, so back to
Oh,
brother.
you're right. He's being a zealot.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. That was good. That was good. I didn't see it.
Look at that time transformation. He went down and he went up, and now he's like crazy ripped.
That was cool.
Okay, water stirred again. This is where he's camping out. Man, can you imagine your
No.
whole life?
The pool of Bethesda is. We know exactly where the pool of Bethesda is.
He's a lot
today.
older.
It's. Like we found it archaeologically. This is not just a made-up story in the Bible. We know, and scholars agree where it is, which is so cool.
Really
This
cool.
is like authentic story.
Who do you think the brother is? Oh man, look at him. He's getting older and older.
Simon the Zealot,
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
or I think Judas was a zealot also. So who knows? It could be Judas.
Wow.
Probably Simon. I don't know how they're gonna do Judas.
I don't either. I'm really interested how they're gonna do that. Look at that.
It's a cool stone menorah into the wall there. You see all the color, how the color pops from the Jerusalem with the stone. That's cool.
It's getting some sort of dagger.
The dagger, well, the Sikkari, you know, it's that like curved dagger. That's what one of the main sects. There are many sects of zealots actually in the first century, but the Sikkari are one of them, and they're named after those daggers.
Wow.
He does have straight white teeth, which is probably not.
That's it. That's all we get to see. I'm hooked.
Oh wow!
Oh, the parallel of the stories was just. I mean, that's just incredible. You have the younger brother, the older brother. Man, that was so good.
It was well done.
Good.
It was well done. It felt first century. It brought you in to the pool of Bethesda.
Oh yeah.
Like the problem is when you go to the pool of Bethesda today, is you don't get to feel that. You know, it's so much modern. It's inside of a church, and you know, but it's that was really cool. They do such a good job.
Wow.
I mean, and there's also something I think about when they don't use words that I don't know. Sometimes words can ruin the story.
Right.
And you can tell so much just by bringing you into the first century Jewish context.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job of just bringing you into the story by just the pictures.
I mean, we just spanned basically 40 years.
Right.
From childhood of this guy to adult, middle adulthood.
Right.
And in what was that, 8 minutes or something like that? And they did that without words. That's incredible. Yeah,
and now the story of the paralytic, it's like you'll probably never read it the same. Like he just became a real person. He just became. You saw him as a child.
Yeah. And
you saw his mother die. Like he's a real person.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's so cool.
Yeah, that is one of the things about the show that I really love is how human they make every character.
Yeah.
I mean, from all of the disciples to even Yeshua, it's like you have this humanity is so real, and then you go back and you read the stories and you hear the the things and the colors, and you know you have a better picture, which is also why going to the land of Israel, walking in Jerusalem, I think is so important.
Right. The other thing they do really well in all their films so far is you see how diverse ethnically the Jewish people are.
Yeah.
So in America, we have this misconception that the Jewish people are all Ashkenazi Jews, that they're essentially from Eastern Europe, and there's a certain look or something. But when you go to Israel, you actually see that they're this microcosm of the nations, and they're all different colors of skin and ethnicities, and so they actually do a pretty good job in this film of showing you that. It even stands out. You're kind of like, oh wow, but when you go to Israel, that's actually what the Jewish people look like. They're from Ethiopia, they're from Russia. There's a million blonde-haired, even Russian Jews. But then, of course, Middle Eastern Jews, European Jews, South American Jews. I mean, so it's cool how they depict that.
For sure. I want to watch the whole thing now. It's probably why you're doing no. Are you ready? All right, so we are at the festival of Sukkot. Looks like
It's a big sukkah.
really
I've
big.
never been to Jerusalem. Really?
Never been to Jerusalem.
My father never took me and my mother to the feasts.
This is your first Feast of the Tabernacles.
Oh, that's because she's from Magdala, right?
Oh yeah.
Tabernacle is a temporary dwelling. It's a tent. I know what the tabernacle
I was
is.
gonna say, why wouldn't he
Right.
know what?
So what? Do we have to build one to eat? I was being facetious.
Yeah.
God said to live in a booth for 7 days during this feast. To commemorate how the children of Israel
That's
lived
a
in
nice
temporary
sukkah.
That's really
shelters for
nice.
14
It's a nice
years in the
ladder.
desert. Still out.
It's a carpenter in you.
For every able-bodied Israelite male who traveled to Jerusalem and present himself before Adonai. You really don't know about any of this stuff.
I've already admitted that I don't know.
So it's really actually cool. So
Okay.
in Israel, during Sukkot, it happens to be the time of year when the date palm branches that you need to cut them back essentially.
Right, to prune
And
them.
so these don't look like date palms, but
Sure.
they probably didn't have date palms in
Right, wherever they're
where they
filming.
are.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it just happens to be that you cut them and then they work perfectly for your sukkah.
Right.
So here we're like trimming our trees in the fall or something for our Sukkot.
Right.
But the Lord like set it up with nature perfectly, you know.
He has a pretty good grasp on time and timelines.
And nature.
Yeah.
Father Nature.
Father Nature. As opposed to Mother Nature. Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Keep going?
Of it. I didn't pay much attention. I do recall my father used to leave 3 times a year.
Why is it only the men are required to go?
It can be a perilous journey, difficult for children, the sick, people who need caretakers, but
Interesting.
it doesn't prohibit anyone.
He's right. We're talking about the
Many
3
times.
coming up festivals, right?
I mean, I think it's important to note that 3 times a year you go on these journeys. Okay, so let's just list them. You got Sukkot, Shavuot, and
Passover.
right? And it, depending on where you are in the land, long, difficult journey.
And expensive.
Yeah.
And dangerous is what he was saying. So if you're sick, then what do? You stay home, right?
Right. I think it's just important to note that.
Sharp. All right, I need some bodies to go into town with me. Nathaniel gave me a list of supplies for this masterpiece of his.
Who did?
Nathaniel?
Pick me, Simon.
Pick me.
I love Simon
Andrew's hilarious.
Andrew and Simon's relationship is awesome.
They're definitely brothers.
So brothers. Anyway, that was good. I like the look of their sukkah.
It's a nice sukkah.
It's really nice. I'd stay in it. All right, can we go to the next one?
All right, so here we go. Clip number 3.
Off we go.
So here we go. Clip number 3.
So they're in the sukkah.
Nice. That's kind of how our sukkah is with the sheets like that.
Woman of valor!
That shit, Chayil, did you hear that?
So-
Woman of valor who can find, Proverbs 31.
Shabbat blessing?
Must be. That means it's Friday night.
Right.
With all due respect, Nathaniel, I know you're a skilled architect, but this thatched roof won't keep the rain out.
It's true.
Vegetation provides shade from the sun during the day.
And if a few raindrops get through, it is a reminder of our dependence on God, of His provision, and of how our people were so vulnerable in the wilderness. And He brought us through.
There was a time in my life, in my old life, where I had to sleep outside. It is a good reminder.
I don't know if they're going to address it,
How I was
but
delivered
you
from
also
it.
leave it open so that you can see through, right?
At least one side.
Because you want to be able to see Messiah coming, right?
Everyone sleeps
Oh, you're talking about the roof?
Yeah, the roof.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Not all booths are created equal.
Yes, Nathaniel, the beauty of this booth is itself an act of worship.
Rabbi,
So he's complimenting Nathaniel. That was kind of redemptive.
redemptive.
That was redemptive for
in the
sure.
prophet Zechariah it is written, and everyone who has survived, of all the nations that have attacked Jerusalem, shall go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles.
Zechariah 14. Yeah.
What? Zechariah says that? Passover feast every year, you just don't pay attention.
And there's a lot of readings, they sort of went together.
What exactly is your question, Big James?
One day, our enemies will celebrate this feast
That's a good
with
question.
us.
It's a good question.
Babylonians, Assyrians, the Romans,
The
Jews
Romans.
and Gentiles at this table? What would have to happen for that to be possible?
Wow.
Something will have to change.
That's good. I felt that one.
We're the ones who dwelt in temporary shelters while we wandered the wilderness, not them.
Everyone has wandered through the wilderness at some point.
Wow.
If all the nations came to celebrate in Jerusalem, there will not be enough room, not to buy.
That's good.
I gotta say, when Jesus said that hit me.
I felt it.
That hit me. That was man, that was good.
Yeah.
Something's got to change.
Something.
Hey, but it's showing the wrestle, like this first century wrestle. We're being oppressed by Gentiles.
Right.
Like you're gonna say that these enemies are gonna come in and like I mean, as a Gentile, I'm like, I want to be at that table. It's like I want to be at that table. Yeah. And so to me, that's like that passage, Zechariah 14. That's a really beautiful, hopeful passage. But maybe from a first century Jewish perspective, it was a wrestle passage.
It would have to be. All you get to do is look at the previous Jewish history and how the nations have treated Israel, or even the last 2,000 years. That's why it's still this big struggle. Right? It's good showing the wrestle here.
And even depicting Jesus' heart for the unified family. They're picking up on that.
John 17, absolutely.
Right? All right.
It's good.
I will not bore you with the calculations.
I love Matthew.
I think it will not be Jerusalem as we know it now.
Certainly not.
But if Zechariah prophesied it, it will be fulfilled, right?
It just sounds impossible.
I know a thing or two about prophecies that sound impossible.
Wow. That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Nobody laughs out loud because, that's kind of awkward.
Right.
That was really funny. Miriam. She's like...
That was really good. That's really good. I do like, I don't know how much she traveled with him, but it's kind of fun having her along for the journey. I mean, she was definitely around at different points for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. We know that with the Grafted podcast, that the most views that we've had are from your mother and my mom. So, honestly, if you're Miriam, right, the mother of Yeshua, and we're not even perfect, right?
Right.
And Yeshua's perfect.
Right.
Like, she's like, I'm not missing any of his teachings.
Right.
I want to be there. I'm going with him.
She couldn't watch the live stream later, right?
Totally. There's no way she's missing out.
Yeshua's biggest fan.
Amazing.
Just thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
We love you. All right, what are we on? Clip 4 now? Is that right? Okay.
Is this the last one?
No, 2 more.
We have 2 more. What do you think it's going to be about?
I have no idea. I think it's going to be about...
Zacchaeus? You going to go back to Zacchaeus? Saw a tree and a little guy and
Well, it's Sukkot. So, and they're going... It sounded like they were going to Jerusalem. So then Yeshua's going to say, hey, you guys go ahead, I'm not going. And then he goes. Remember that whole kind of hard passage?
And then he stands up on the last and greatest day, right? Is that the same passage? Is that later? I think it's the same.
I think it is the same. It's in John 7. So, are we going there? That's like one of my favorite sections. I don't know if we're going there.
Maybe they didn't pick that clip.
Living water?
Man, I did it again.
So this person you need to see, you get to meet him in the temple?
No, actually the opposite. The Bethesda pool.
They're kind of following the book of John, it seems like to me, because we had Nicodemus.
Look at that! Look at that picture. Temple Mount.
Oh, I want to see how they did it.
Check that out.
Interesting.
Okay, so this is one of the gates. This is going to be on the western side of the city. Wow.
Right? Yeah, they have like the domes. That's good.
I like the view of the temple, man. That's cool.
That's fun.
That's really cool. That's just so fun to see how they did it. Man, that's fun. Now, Mount of Olives would be just on the other side.
Okay, they have 3 crosses. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, they do.
What's that all about?
Foreshadowing.
Keep
watching.
Keep watching. Okay, fine.
Why is it strange? Because the history of the pool is pagan. I don't know much about the details. James used to know that stuff more, but...
The pool used to be a shrine for the Phoenician god.
You ever notice that Simon's shorts are a little short?
He wears shorts.
To a place of worship for a healing cult of Asclepius.
Very good, Simon.
How do you know this stuff?
And James isn't the only one who reads. John, you should try it.
I do know about the pools, though. Every day the water steams and bubbles, and some people believe that it's stirred up by an angel who heals the first person who gets to the stirred water.
I've read about this, that there are places on Earth where hot vapor steams up from the ground intermittently or makes water boil, and no one knows how.
I wouldn't say no one. Is that why we're going? You're gonna tell us?
Someday someone will figure it out and they'll tell everybody. But for now, we have a checkpoint to pass.
So it's also true, like if you wanted your leg to be healed, then they would like have this little, you know, I don't know, leg, a tiny leg, and you would throw that in the pool as like the way to get healed. This pagan, almost like, oh yeah, here we go.
Wow. I don't know, you know, there's different ways.
We're stopping like that? Wow, okay.
Right? There's different ways, like, I don't know, my imagination goes different ways, like, how much did Yeshua know what kind of way he was going to suffer? You know, I mean, obviously there was some sort of crucifixions happening throughout his life and ministry.
Well, Josephus says that there were so many Jews crucified in the first century, there were no longer any trees in all of Judea.
Wow.
So now Josephus was prone to exaggeration when it came to numbers, but still,
he's trying to make a point.
He's making a point that. So this scene is not just for effect. I think it's very accurate of what would have been normal in the first century.
And man, I mean, brutal, just absolutely brutal. And the way Yeshua walks towards the end of his life and ministry is just incredible. He sets his face like flint. Remember at one point, and it's like. With unresolving, or no, just total resolve, he just sets his face like flint for the joy set before
for the
him.
joy.
Like what? Wow. Like the most intense suffering with joy.
Yeah. It's good. It's good, like yours said. It's like, and he knew what was ahead. Meaning, not only he knew he had to be crucified, but seeing things like this, it's like, that's going to be me someday.
Wow.
And that makes it like even harder.
Right. And then you think about him going up for Passover, you know, year after year, knowing at some level, knowing that, this is the way he would have to suffer.
Right.
I mean, wow. All right, next one, last one.
All right, last clip.
We're at the pool.
Yeah.
This is what all the fuss is about. An oversized mikveh. I have a feeling
An oversized mikveh, is that what he said? That's funny.
Actually, kind of see you see Yeshua's got fringes on his.
They're just.
It's more a part of his.
On.
Yeah, it's more a part of his clothing, just like I was saying earlier. So they are depicting that well.
Wow.
You know why they did that? Is because they're going to show the woman later.
Right.
What doesn't belong? The sad one.
Why do I get the feeling this isn't just a meeting? Do we need to be on the lookout?
No. Now stay with me and watch.
He's wearing purple, you see that?
That's interesting. We have the Pharisaic guys over here.
What are they doing? Are they under the... Is that a sukkah? Looks like a sukkah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of a gaudy sukkah. You know, a lot of sukkahs have that. It's like an ancient gaudy sukkah.
Right.
It's really funny. You know what I'm saying? Where they put up all the different colors and...
Me? Yes. Shalom.
Shalom. Oh.
I have a question for you. For me. I don't have many answers. But I'm listening.
Interesting.
Do you want to be healed?
Wow.
Who are you? We'll get to that later. But my question remains. Will you take me to the water?
Oh, man.
No.
Look, I'm having a really bad day.
You've been having a bad day for a long time.
It's so intense.
It is.
So?
Sir, I have no one to help me into the water when it's stirred up.
Wow.
And when I do get close, the others step down in front of me. And so,
look at me.
You see the compassion, right?
Look at me. That's not what I asked. I'm not asking you about who's helping you, or who's not helping, or who's getting in your way. I'm asking about you.
It's so interesting. It picks one person, right? And then
I've tried.
He's like chooses them among the
For a
crowd.
long time, I know.
I love the way
And you don't want false
he
hope again, I
looks.
understand.
They depict the way he looks at people. Can you imagine?
It has nothing for you. It means nothing. And you know it. But you're still here. Why?
I don't know.
You don't need this pool. You only need me.
Yeah.
So, do you want to be healed? So let's go. Get up. Pick up your mat.
Simple as that.
And walk.
He's getting out his boat.
Let's write this down. That's hilarious. He goes right after like his heart.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't mess around.
On that one, you don't even think he touches him. It's interesting how he does it different, like every time. You know, when he spits in the dirt,
right?
He has them wash in the other pool. He speaks to them. He has them touch the fringes of his garment.
Right.
It's like there's no formula.
Right.
He's not a.
You have to do it this way.
Yeah, it's.
I'm free to walk,
Wow.
like he said. Don't forget your bed. Why does this matter? Because you're not coming back here. That life is over. Everything changes now.
Wow.
Yo! It's Shabbat.
What are you doing? Torah forbids carrying a mat on Shabbat?
Not Torah, the oral tradition. Yes.
It's good.
Transporting objects from one domain to another violates Shabbat.
The man who healed
You
me.
don't realize what just happened here? Why are you trying to make this about Shabbat?
You can pause it?
No, that was good. I
good.
wasn't expecting them to go there.
Uh-uh.
But that's a really important distinction on whenever they're arguing about Sabbath with Yeshua, that it's about the oral tradition.
Right.
It's not that they're saying Sabbath. Yeshua's never saying Sabbath is done away with. He's saying that your laws on how to observe Sabbath are not true Sabbath observance.
Yeah. A bit off. Right.
He's tweaking the oral tradition, and that's exactly what they said. So that's good. This ends up being actually most of Yeshua's healings in the Gospels happen on Sabbath.
Right. Right.
So
which is a beautiful picture of who he is and what is yet to come. He's always pointing to the kingdom of God, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of God. It's at hand, it's here, it's near. And that's where total healing is, right?
And Sabbath is ultimately about relationship with God.
Right.
God's relationship with creation. That's why it's the seventh day and he rested. So that's what's really beautiful, because what did he do? He was just so relational with this guy.
Eye to eye.
It's about that, and then he heals him. as a demonstration that this is what Shabbat is really about, is relationship with me.
Wow.
And that's why if you observe Sabbath on Sunday, it's okay because it's about relationship with God. But if you observe Sabbath on the seventh day or Saturday, and you don't have relationship with God, unto what?
Right.
Who cares?
Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Because you're missing the ultimate point of Sabbath. But
and like this guy's
cool.
experiencing the point.
Shabbat
of
Shalom.
Sabbath, right?
He's experiencing Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, couple seconds left. We gotta see how it ends.
So I'm curious as to your reaction when he says Shalom. You teared up.
Because that's like Shalom means so much.
Right.
It's like he didn't know who he was, and yet Shalom is this. Even in modern Hebrew, it's like when you say "How are you," like "Mashlomcha" or "Mashlomeach," it's "How is your Shalom?"
How is your Shalom?
That's literally what it means. So his Shalom wasn't doing well.
No.
And I didn't realize it was Shabbat. But I don't know. They did a beautiful job of even foreshadowing Shabbat Shalom by his interaction with Yeshua there. So really well done.
We saw his Shalom go from not so shalomy to very much Shalom.
no shalomy. It's a verb.
All right, let's finish it.
And why? Who did? Who told you that? He did. I don't know. He didn't tell me his name. No.
Which is so fun.
Of course not. He performs a magic trick and tells you to commit a sin. A false prophet. This will be reported. Report whatever you want.
Exactly.
Standing on two legs.
It's like, whatever.
Sorry. I need to go find my brother.
Oh, his brother.
Yep.
Back to.
Wow. Man, that's so good.
That was good.
Really good. Great job chosen, guys.
Yeah, great clips.
Well, that's it. Thanks for watching this episode of Grafted, and thanks for watching with us. We love this show, and we love what they're doing with this show, and we just think they're doing an awesome job. If you have ideas or you have other things that you want our reaction to, post it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your ideas.
Shalom.
Shalom. Ooh, that's good.